Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me okay and everything is looking good on the screen and sounding good, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me or things are looking kind of bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. while you guys are doing that, I'm going to say what's good to everybody who is in the building. All right. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Good to see you as always. Shout out to my man Cameron Jones. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. Being a mod extraordinaire, enforcing the likes and the merch. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Alonda. What's good with it, Alonda? We got Catsy in the building. Shout out to Catsy. Eat the cat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Elmo. What's good with it, bro? We got Alpha Male Pimp Network in the building. Shout out to you, bro. Good to see you. Shout out to my man Carlton Way. We are monolith. You know what I'm saying? There's more proof, right? More proof. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man John Guillory. Yo, shout out to John Guillory. I'm glad you appreciate the beat, bro. Yo, if y'all want to listen to if y'all want to peep the intro again, you know what I'm saying? Throw a thumbs up in the chat. If y'all want to get into it, let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Greets, my man Greets. What's good with it, bro? All right. It is good to see each and every one of y'all. All right. So, man, your boy Barack Obama. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. What's good with it, bro? Your boy Barack Obama. Come out sounding like a whole lot of YouTubers, don't he? Barack Obama may as well start a podcast. He may as well start a YouTube channel, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man John. John want to hear the beat again. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to hear the beat again? Give me a sec. Hold on. We about to get it. Y'all lucky I got a little bit of time today. I got time today. You know what I'm saying? I got some time today. But we're going to get into this, man, because we're going to break this down because there's a reason why this is happening. There's a reason why this is happening. It's a reason why they do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to discuss that. And one of the reasons why they're doing it is because clearly the campaign numbers are not all that they seem. Because there would be no need to do this, right? If there was confidence in the fact that Kamala Harris was winning the election, right? There would be no need for this. Right? What's the need? See how they call us low information voters? These are low information campaigns. You know what I'm saying? Not to get into the whole, go down these rabbit holes, but Barack Obama is what you would call a daughter dad. You know what I'm saying? He's a simp. Besides all of that, right? Because we don't even need to get into the name calling other than the mechanics of why those names are important, right? But we're gonna kick back and, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna kick back and peep this old monolith beat real quick. And once we get done with the monolith beat, we're gonna get into it. Hey. Hey. Shout out to my man John Guillory. My man John Guillory says, for the DJ embrace villainy for running my jam back. You know I got you, man. You know I got you, DJ Blacklight on the ones and twos. You know what I'm saying? DJ Blacklight on the ones and twos. Y'all know I got you, man. I'm the dude that you want at the barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Controlling the sounds. You feel me? So, man, we got to talk about this, man. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about this, man, because we had said that this was going to happen, right? And the thing is that this is not going to stop happening until the paradigm changes, because this ain't the only way that this happens. And what's even more hilarious about this, shout out to my man AB Promotions, what's good with it, bro, is that you guys are going to see a lot of people make content about this, right? They're going to make content about this and they're going to say why everything is wrong with this, while at the same time they do this exact same tactic for their agendas. They do this exact same tactic for their agendas, right? Barack Obama is using shaming tactics. Barack Obama is attempting to get into the heart and the soul of the shame-sensitive, radical, blue pill, female-minded male. That is why he is doing this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to T. What's good with you, T? That is why he is doing this. You know what I'm saying? He is speaking from one estrogen male to the other estrogen male. And those of us that have more testosterone than estrogen are not, this message is not going to resonate with us at all. At all. Barack Obama is a married daughter dad. You know what I'm saying? He's a married daughter dad. When he's talking to people, he believes that he's talking to women who will listen to him. Newsflash, you're not. Here's another newsflash. We don't know if those women listen to him or not. If the Kamala Harris campaign ran a sound campaign that gave people a reason to vote, a reason to support her, people would come out and support her. They would vote for her. They would give her their support. Kamala Harris does not even answer questions. What Kamala Harris is getting is the same questioning, the same concern, and the same suspicion that those lovely ladies on Fox Soul gave Ice Cube. Now, when those lovely ladies on Fox Soul gave Ice Cube his in real-time critique, did Barack Obama come out and tell those ladies, hey, you know that in this contract for Black America, you're included as a Black person, right? Barack Obama didn't do that. Nobody did anything, as a matter of fact. You know, a few content creators came out and, you know, they twisted that story for their purposes. You know, you got the gender war and all of that, right? But as far as from a political standpoint, right, nobody really said anything about it. Now, I talked about this briefly in my last live stream, and I said, you know, as much as people didn't like that exchange, all those women on Fox Soul did, besides the theatrics, was the same thing that they tell everybody else to do. Make sure that you nail down something non-vague and specific for your participation in a political initiative. Would you guys agree? If you take away all of the theatrics, if you take away all of the silliness, that's essentially what happened. And what happened as a result? Ice Cube said, man, that's a female. You know what I'm saying? And he obliged, right? Closed mouth don't get fed. Now, you know, Barack Obama says Kamala Harris grew up just like us. I'd be curious to know how many times her mother told her closed mouth don't get fed. I'd be curious. You know what I'm saying? Because I can guarantee you, we got shout out to 24 people that's in here. I can guarantee you that for the most part, everybody in here heard that saying growing up, closed mouth don't get fed, right? And those women on Fox Soul did not close their mouths and they got fed, right? They got fed. They got written in. Nothing wrong with that. It's what you're supposed to do. That's what literally everyone tells everybody else to do, right? So we saw that was an effective technique. So Kamala Harris is now facing her Fox male soul moment, and a fuzzy wuzzy simp enforcer, former president Barack Obama, has to come out and be the strong arm behind the boss woman. Because make no mistake, you know what I'm saying? Without a male behind feminism, there is no such thing as feminism, which is one of the reasons why my content always gears toward the simp enforcers. Because all of the male ills that we see in the world, for the most part, are empowerment of women to do maybe more or less productive things that are motivated with batteries in their back by faulty estrogen-minded males. Facts. Anybody, if there's anyone who feels that that's not true, by any means, please provide me with the proof of how that's not true. But behind all feminism, behind any type of thing where men look at it and say, well, you know, things are counterbalanced, not in our favor, it was a man who sold men out at all times. You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama is doing the same thing. The reason why somebody would have to do something like this, a desperation technique, is because they have nothing. This is what's called a Hail Mary. Remember how they brought Magic Johnson to bring all of those sports terms because we're so stupid, we don't understand anything except for sports? Well, this is the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any timeouts left. They got to inbound the ball all the way from backcourt, and they got about 2.5 left on the shot clock. How you like that for sports talk? How you like that for sports talk? Now, here's my question. How many former presidents have come out and told white males what they need to do? Have you heard any? Ronald Reagan come out and tell the young Chads, we need to make cross burning a regular thing again. So get out there and make your ancestors proud. No. They might have said it on Discord, or they might have said it on 4chan, or, you know, somewhere on Twitter or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's not a big spectacle about it. Right? But Barack Obama feels the need to tell us this. What Barack Obama should have done is Barack Obama should have given us a list of things that, projected through a Kamala Harris presidency, will improve for black men if black men choose to vote for her. Because here's my question. If we're not a monolith, then why is it that people who do not plan on voting for Kamala Harris are somehow exiles of the black community? We out here on the fringes with Candace Owens, not invited to the barbecue, y'all. We got a bunch of cold cuts and lettuce. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of cold cuts and lettuce out here, messed up in the game. We can't listen to Boys to Men. You know what I'm saying? We can't listen to Jagged Edge. We on the outside looking in. Who cares? That's my question. How many of y'all care? I don't care. This right here is proof that there is an expected result of every black male to do. This is what I'm talking about when I say they run in quality control. They're having too many outliers. There's too many people that are sticking with the couch. There's too many people who even might still vote for Kamala Harris, but they dare to be critical. And there's the ultimate race traitor. The black man that's voting for Trump. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Now, there's a bunch of people, right, that are going to make content like this. They don't mean anything. They don't mean any of their words. They don't mean any of what they're saying. They're only saying this because they don't like Kamala Harris. They're only saying this because they don't like Barack Obama. Very different from why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I mean it. I'm saying this because I mean it. Because once the election is over with, these very same people who use these very same talking points will use the Obama tactics and the Obama techniques in regards to something else. They'll take those slants in their commentary. I don't use shaming tactics. I try to present information and make sense of it. That is why people use shaming tactics. People use shaming tactics when there's a lack of supporting information to be able to make the point or connect the point that they're trying to make. And as a result of not being able to produce data that can be validated by a person's five senses or their critical analysis, they result to shaming, name calling, these type of tactics. This is why you see old people on YouTube saying that they don't know, quote unquote, what's wrong with us and different things like that. There's nothing wrong with us. What you're seeing is the quality control is starting to fail. And the quality control is on the mind control. When it comes to Black people in the United States, at what percentage do Black people vote for the Democratic Party historically? Lysol ratios, clean as a bleach wipe. You take a bleach wipe out of the can, you run it across the table, it picks up 90% of the Black Democratic voters, and 5 to 10% stay on the table. We that 5 to 10% that stayed on the table. They running quality control on your brain out here. You see a lot of white content creators and non-Black content creators. They're not outraged about this. They don't care about this. The only thing that they care about is they want you to vote for Trump or to not vote in a way that's going to help their political agendas or to substantiate their talking points. Look at the non-Black content creators making content about, oh my God, Barack Obama shamed Black men. They never made a video about actual justice warrior shaming Black men. They never made a video about Fox News shaming Black men. They never made a video about Bill O'Reilly shaming Black men. Those people can do what they do, right? You ask me, they breathe too much, right? They breathe too much. Would you guys agree? It's a lot of people out here in the world that breathe too much. Some of them are them, right? So my advice would be to ignore any of that type of content. And the reason why I would say to ignore any of that type of content is because these are household issues that we deal with. These people have no perspective on the generational voting and the damage that it's caused and why it's done. They have no clue. These people don't even have any, they don't have any Black friends. They say they have a Black friend. They don't have a Black friend. They don't know anything. They have no education. They have no experience. They have no testimony. There's no one that they can bring on a podcast to give a legitimate and true story about dealing with situations like this. Shout out to us. A lot of us know people who have had complete family rifts because of political, religious differences. And this is a long-standing thing. And this entire long-standing thing is a result of the structure of the country that we live in. But yet the country that we live in doesn't want to be accountable for the mind screwing that it's done. Let me tell you something, man. I don't care who anybody votes for. I got my own, political beliefs, but I could never fall out with somebody that I care about or never disown somebody that I care about on some political stuff. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. All the politics are meant to do is to maintain the nonsensical system of nonsense that we live in, that is built on filtering wealth from us to pump up a larger machine to continue to use us as financial gasoline to keep the motors running on this piece of crap. I could never fall out with somebody that I'm cool with or somebody that I care about over that. Could you? I couldn't. But what I can fall out with people non-related to me over is this type of nonsense right here. This type of nonsense right here. You know, every time Barack Obama gets in front of a mic, he always says it's black males' fault. Remember the cousin Pookie comments that he made? That's interesting. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, the Democrats have all of these new constituencies. They have all of these new voters. They have all of these new people. They got it, right? They got it. What do they need us for? There's some of us who are going to vote for Democrats. Shout out to the people that vote for Democrats. I hope the people that vote for Democrats are not voting for Democrats because they've been shamed into it. And this is one of the reasons why I need people to have higher self-esteem. I need people to have higher self-worth. When you look at yourself in the mirror, I need you to see solid gold. Because the only way that shaming tactics work is if you allow the perception of other people to dictate your perceived self-worth. Barack Obama simp shames black men because he knows that a lot of black men are shame sensitive for many reasons. So instead of presenting information, right? Instead of presenting information to the, as they call us, low information demographic, they present shaming tactics. And what they hope they'll do with these shaming tactics is be able to elicit an emotional response, something in your deep, visceral mind that will remind you of a traumatic situation that occurred at some point in your life. And in order to eliminate that, or in order to eliminate the reoccurrence of that, you will do what you're being shamed into doing to avoid dealing with those feelings that you had before. This is why feelings over logic is so important. I'm going to let you guys listen to this, all right? And what I want to know is, have you heard any other candidate talking like this to the people that they want to vote for him? Now, check out marketing, right? When you watch a TV show and you see an advertisement or you see marketing efforts, do those marketing efforts attempt to give you rational reasons of why you should want or why you should need a product, how it benefits you, and then go ahead and say, this is why you should get this product? Or do they try to shame you into the product? That's my question. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be paying attention to Barack Obama's tactics, and we're also going to pay attention to what benefit Barack Obama is saying that black men will get from voting for Kamala Harris. Because again, yes, no has not been determined until November 5th, right? That's when we'll know when the ultimate yes, no's are. So from today on to November 5th, Kamala Harris can still possibly, if she does a good enough job, convince people that there is a benefit to voting for her, right? Time and opportunity, right? Shout out to Chili C. What's good with it, right? But they're not using their time and opportunity to do that. They're using their time and opportunity to attempt to elicit shame-sensitive simp reflex, and get them to reflectively vote with no payback. In business, there's all these terms. A sunk cost. How many people know what a sunk cost is? If you know what a sunk cost is, let me know in the comment section. Opportunity cost, right? You've got this term. Payback period, right? Break-even point, right? Let me ask you guys this. When it comes to how black people have been doing political business, what are the sunk costs of voting for being a Democrat for all these years? What are the opportunity costs of being a Democrat? Yeah, what's the return on investment, the ROI? Facts. How much equity gains have people made? You know what I'm saying? What's the break-even point? We ain't about to break even on the racial wealth gap anytime soon at all. You know, as a matter of fact, that bad boy might be through the floor pretty soon, right? So politics is akin to business, yet business terminology is never used in these situations to describe political progress or political goals. Shout out to Antithesis. What's good with it, bro? Instead, we're just going to blame things on people. Just going to blame things on people. What I would advise everyone to do is put your nose up in the air as high as you possibly can. Make it so that you can smell the ozone. You know, you can actually smell ozone. Put your nose all the way up in the air. Make your nostrils as wide as you can, right? And take a nice sniff in of those O3 oxygen, you know what I'm saying, molecules. It'll smell like electricity, you know what I'm saying? And turn around and walk away from this nonsense. Shout out to DSB. What's good with it, bro? Walk away from this nonsense, because that's exactly what this is nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Talentless, scandalous, plebiscite, babbling.
Now, you know, I could sit up here and roast Barack Obama, right? But if I sat up here and roasted Barack Obama, I would be guilty of what I'm saying that he's doing right now. So I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to do is we're going to leave this riddled with questions and all of the clips on the ground. That's what we're going to do.
Ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Yes. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that
now, mind you, right? That can't possibly be because of the Democrats' shortcomings. It can't possibly be, right? It has to be because of the failures, inadequacies, insufficiencies, and negligence of Black people. It cannot possibly be that the Democrats have failed to perform, right? So let's check this out, right? Let's do a analysis here, because that's what you're supposed to do. According to Barack Obama, the problem is, in his eyes, quote unquote, the community, whichever community that is, right, hasn't come out in the same way that they came out when he was voting. Now, let's address that problem. Why would you all say that that problem is occurring? There's a decrease in voter engagement in certain sectors with the Democrat Party. Why?
it seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind,
it seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. Now, why would that be more pronounced with the brothers? Where's the source? What data are you getting this from? Here's another thing. Why would it be more pronounced with the brothers? Couldn't possibly be because of some type of issue between the relationship with Democrats and Black males. Couldn't be that, right? It's got to be something with the brothers.
For a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear.
When you have a choice that is this clear, what's clear about it? So I want you guys to pay very close attention. What Obama has not done is Obama has not given you a reason to make a choice. If you guys notice that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys do not notice that, then give me a thumbs down. Barack Obama has not given a reason on why you should make the choice that you're being advised to make. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. Shout out to the specialist. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to David Brown. What's good with you?
When on the one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you,
How many now? Again, no offense, right? Shout out to the mixed people, right? But even a lot of the mixed people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the mixed people didn't grow up with an Indian mom. Let's start here. How many of you all's parents were college professors? Here's an even better question. How many of y'all parents were college educated? My parents were not college educated. My dad got an associate's degree. Shout out to him. My mom got a professional certificate. She didn't use it very much, but she got it, right? How many of you all's parents were staff professors at a college? How many of you all's parents have postgraduate degrees? Mine don't. You know what I'm saying? So, right, we're going to deal with this and, of course, not bring race into it, right? But we're going to bring race into it later. And we're bringing race into it because Obama brought race into it. Right? How many of you all have a non-black parent? And when I say a non-black parent, I'm talking about a ethnic non-black parent. I don't. I got a mixed parent. My mom is mixed, right? My mom grew up in a environment where she was a ward of the state and then was given to a foster family. But she was still in touch with her blood, part of her blood family, right? The foster family that my mom grew up with, Black American family from Cleveland, right? Despite the fact that my mom is mixed, for all intents and purposes, she's a black person. You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama has mixed ancestors or mixed parents, mixed heritage, right? A black mom or a black dad and a white mom, right? His dad is from Kenya, right? Kind of different, right? Kamala Harris, she has a Indian mom, and it's questionable what's going on with her dad. Now, I'm not the black people police, right? I always tell y'all this. Shout out to Alvin Learning. What's good with it? I'm not the black people police, right? The only time I start questioning this type of stuff is when people come out with their chest out with it, right? This ain't me trying to out-black anybody. This is Barack Obama trying to force his definition of, I guess, what's black and what's relatable to a black person on everybody else, right? That's what we have going on here. I've never lived in Canada, right? I've been to Canada a couple of times, never been to Canada. Kamala Harris lived in Canada. I've been to Canada, you know what I'm saying? Rode on the Maid of the Mist. I went to the, you know what I'm saying, Niagara Falls, not on the Buffalo side, on the actual Canada side. I've been to Wonderland. I've been to Toronto. Shout out to the Six, right? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't grow up in Canada. I don't have anything in common. I don't have a sister. You know what I'm saying? I got a brother. Barack Obama is a man who grew up with his mom, right? And now, not only from growing up with his mom, he has a family that's all females. My family is a mom and all males. I don't relate to anything with Barack Obama, and I don't relate to anything with Kamala Harris. And that's before we get into the whole quote unquote Black American thing, right? That's before we get into that. I got a grandmother, God rest her soul. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what they say. You know what I'm saying, right? To ease the pain for those family members that you love that pass away. Her name was Ollie Mae. Got an aunt named Mady. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my, rest in peace, my aunt Lil. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the family call my dad June. You know what I'm saying? This is all familiar stuff, right? How many of y'all can relate to that? Shout out to Miss Niecy. Talked to my cousin Niecy earlier today. You know what I'm saying? This is relatable stuff. How many of y'all can relate to what I just said? I can't have this conversation with Barack Obama. So Barack Obama sitting there saying that we can relate. I can't relate to that. But he's telling you that we can. All that food that Kamala Harris cooked with Mindy, I've had Indian food before. Some of it is all right. It ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't cook you any though. My mom can't cook you none either. You know what I'm saying? My dad know how to barbecue. You know what I'm saying? But he can't cook you none of that. Listen, listen, all these things that they be talking about as far as being quote unquote certified and all this stuff. Shout out to Rhonda. Shout out to the 216. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 216. Listen, you know what I'm saying? If you from where me and Rhonda from, you got a relative that either worked for GE, Caterpillar, LTV Steel, you know what I'm saying? KeyBank, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Look, a lot of times you know the family because the whole generations of family worked at the same place. A lot of them places ain't here no more. You go down 480, you know what I'm saying? You just look at the skeleton of the LTV building. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these changes. You know what I'm saying? We can't have this conversation with Barack Obama. That's not relatable. You know what I mean? There's nothing that Barack Obama can give to us that's relatable. Now, here's another thing that Barack Obama should be able to relate to. Remember when Barack Obama said that he's going to be the president of only, he's going to be the president of the United States. He can't just be the president for one group of people. He's only going to be the president for the United States. Well, guess what? This is an election that's dealing with the entire United States. It's dealing with the entire United States. So for your reasons of why people should vote for Kamala Harris, those might not be the reasons why they vote for her. See how that works? See how that works? Now, shout out to PD that remains. Aside from debunking the basic talking points, right? Since we've listened to this right here, what has Barack Obama said or given to you all that has made you say, you know what, I'm going to investigate voting for Kamala Harris? Nothing. It's all shame talk. It's all shame talk. If they gave a point that was worth entertaining, I would be down to listen. I'm not going to take disrespect from people. And this is nothing more than disrespect. This is insulting people's intelligence. And what I advise everybody that's watching to do, and even people that's not watching, do not allow people to attack your intelligence. This is Barack Obama addressing people as if he's standing on a high place, looking down on everybody and telling everybody your simple thought processes. Don't even waste your time with them because you're too dumb to come up with anything worth anything. Just do what I tell you to do. And what I tell you to do is to vote for Kamala Harris and support her in the way that you all support me. Well, I don't know if Barack Obama realizes this, but shout out to rest in peace, Notorious B.I.G. Things done changed. I don't think a lot of the people that supported him back in the day would support him today. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So let's keep it pushing. Let's see what else Obama talking about.
Went to college with you. Understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome.
Now, okay, first and foremost, Barack Obama's lying. She didn't have to work harder and overcome, and she didn't have to do any of that. She didn't have to do any of that, right? However, let's just say that she did. Let's just assume that she did. We will give Barack Obama his argument there, right? And say that she did. Hasn't she already gotten the return on her investment? So why does she need, what does she need from us? Shout out to Crew Reality. Crew Reality said, B1 fam, Obama can kick rocks in some Jesus sandals. Shout out to Ricky Guillory. Yo, real quick, if y'all haven't smashed the like button yet, do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, do me a favor, hit that bell. This is shaming language. No one should be susceptible to this. Anytime anybody hears anything like this, the only thing that you need to do is come with a clean, concise rebuttal where all the facts are laid out. You hit all the bullseyes and call it a day. No one cares. No one cares about any of this. You know what I'm saying?
And achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities.
Like what? What are one of the concrete proposals that she has put forth that's going to address things that are vital in the neighborhood? What is she going to do for all of those things in Chicago? I don't know if you guys heard, but there's another migrant shelter that's about to close. What is she going to do that, quote unquote, directly, quote unquote, addresses, quote unquote, our communities? Now, you want to, quote unquote, talk about, quote unquote, our communities, right? Shout out to Rhonda. You know what I'm saying? Like Rhonda, you know, she from around my way, you know what I'm saying? Where most of my family is at and where I grew up at, right? That area is dead. Shout out to anybody from the Steel Belt. You know what I'm saying? Anybody from the Steel Belt will tell you it's dead. It's been dead forever. No one's addressed it. Shout out to 480. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, right? And Rhonda can vouch me on this. Y'all won't know what I'm talking about, but Rhonda can vouch me. If you drive up 77, if you take 480 west, right, and you go up 77 north to get to Cleveland, there's an exit called Opportunity Way. Anytime you go into a bad area anywhere, there's always something that talks about opportunity or Hope Pathway or Hope Avenue, Hope Boulevard, right? We got Opportunity Way. And that used to be the East 55th exit, if I'm not mistaken. It used to be a RCA, rapid bus station, rapid transit stop over there, if I'm not mistaken, right? The only thing you got the opportunity to do once you get off that exit is get shot, stabbed, or killed over there. You know what I'm saying? If you stop and you're not on your way to work, because you can get to some places down there because that'll take you downtown and other places where they got places to work at. But there's no opportunities over there. Any place where they got any of these things called Opportunity Lane or Opportunity Drive or Innovation Way or Innovation Lane or it's all dead. It's all dead. That's something they could address, quote unquote, in these quote unquote communities, right? Go to East Cleveland. East Cleveland looks like two things. It looks like first somebody let a bomb off over there, right? And then second of all, it looks like they could just use the entire city because East Cleveland is a city. East Cleveland is not Cleveland. East Cleveland is a city, right? They could use the whole city for The Walking Dead. Noble, Taylor, Green, all up and through there. They could use that whole thing for The Walking Dead, especially over off Noble. You know what I'm saying? Off like that's a whole that area off of Noble. That's a whole trap area. The whole area could be trapped out. You know what I'm saying? Why hasn't that been addressed? There was layoffs. You know what I'm saying? People used to go to Nela Park to see the Christmas lights over there. A lot of people ain't working over there no more because they shipped all the manufacturing overseas. The Midwest, especially the Steel Belt, has been destroyed. It's the same story anywhere. Why you think the name of the Pittsburgh football team is called the Steelers? You know what I'm saying? Why do you think the symbol on their helmet is the symbol that it is? You know, the symbol on the Steelers helmet is the symbol for steel. You know what I'm saying? They haven't fixed any of that. They haven't fixed any of it. And we're supposed to believe that you're going to fix it now? Because what? She hasn't laid out any coherent plan to fix any of this. As a matter of fact, it's been her and her votes that have created many of the problems that seem to be irreversible that people are dealing with in these areas right now. Her and her colleagues. Yeah, as shout out to the crew. Yeah, facts. Youngstown, Hermitage, Youngstown, LTV. Facts. Hermitage, shout out to Hermitage. Yeah, that's right by Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Mercer County, all used to be steel towns. Yeah. Real talk, bro. Anybody that's from the Midwest, especially the Western PA, Northeast Ohio, Michigan area, y'all know that I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying?
From housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to.
Shout out to my man Michael R. Michael R said, "Bro, you know I'm from Pittsburgh. That's Cleveland cousin. You know what I'm saying? I drove past where Obama was speaking on my way to work, and I couldn't tell it was for him. No one black was in line, and that line wasn't that long. Look at it's a ghost town right there. Look at it. Look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's a ghost town. Look, shout out to there's a YouTuber, he from Cleveland, a dude named Skano216, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be watching his content, you know what I'm saying? And he dropped a real good video talking about like the politics, you know what I'm saying? Y'all should go check it out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Anita Hug. Anita Hug said, no offspring or no black man of her own either. No policy and just cosplay. Collard greens in the bathtub and more servings of word salad. You think she used collard greens as the greenery in the word salad? American interests first. I'm straight. Had esophagus. Wait, no, had enough. Yeah, I feel it. I thought you said had esophagus. My bad. Yeah, had enough. Yeah. Shout out to Ricky Guillory, Youngstown, Ohio. Yeah, so Warren, I know y'all seen the little things about how the Lordstown GM factory, you know what I'm saying, having the issues over there. We had Delphi Packard over there in Trumbull County. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In Twinsburg, they used to have a the Chrysler plant. It's a Ford motor plant. I don't know if that's on the way on the west side of Cleveland or if that's like going toward Lorraine. That was over there. All that stuff is gone now. And they're not doing anything to address it. These are the very areas that need a lot of help, right? And Barack Obama saying Kamala Harris has a plan that's going to fix these things. What's the plan? We've talked about the policy, the alleged policies that she supposedly have. There's nothing that addresses any of that stuff in her policies. You know what I'm saying? And because they don't have any information to feed, the shaming tactics come out. Maybe those black men that you're talking about, maybe they're upset because they're not able to make a living in the same way that they saw their grandfather and fathers make livings. My dad used to work at GE. You know what I'm saying? My granddad used to work at Caterpillar. He got the Caterpillar hat and all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, who's talking about bringing those type of jobs back to the United States? That's my question. The type of jobs that you saw your family work at, right? Growing up, who's talking about bringing those type of jobs back into the United States? Is it Kamala Harris? If it is, I haven't really heard too much. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Jay. Yeah, see, shout out to Rhonda. Rhonda said, I had to jump off for a minute. You are correct about our area losing jobs in the steel mill and the blight of EC. Man, listen, all you got to do is just go on YouTube and watch drive-through East Cleveland. Type in East Cleveland drive-throughs. I'm not exaggerating one bit. You know what I'm saying? I used to hang out in East Cleveland. A lot of my homies stay over off of Green, off of Taylor, off Noble. I used to be over there all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Is committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got help and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person.
So let me ask you guys this. Barack Obama is saying that Trump has shown disregards toward, quote unquote, you as a person. Here's my question. Who has shown the most harmful level of disregard towards black people? The Democratic Party and what they've done with black votes for the last 60 years since the Civil Rights Movement, or Trump, who has only been president for 4 years and is not even president yet again, is looking to get into office for another 4 years. This is very easy using basic math. You know what I'm saying?
And you're thinking about sitting out? But, you know, because Pookie might be.
There he go with the Pookie again. Did y'all hear him? There he go with the Pookie again. There he goes with the Pookie again. Manosphere Obama, right? Manosphere Obama. I didn't know Obama was part of the Manosphere, using the Manosphere talking points. I didn't know Obama was red pill. I wouldn't say he's red pill, but whatever, you're trying to talk like a red pillar, right? Yeah, shout out to Alonda. Facts. If you guys agree with Alonda, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. He avoided saying black when he said you as a person. Yeah. Yeah. Now, let me ask you guys this. Have you guys heard any, when JD Vance, did you hear JD Vance say, hey, listen, all you Chads who are thinking about voting for Kamala Harris, I need you all to actually be self-respecting white men and vote for 2 white men like yourselves to carry on the legacy of this country that was structured by white men like your father and grandfather. Did JD Vance or Trump say any of that to any of those people? I mean, there might have been some dog whistles here or there, but the blatant shaming hasn't been there. The blatant shaming hasn't been there. Why not? How is this acceptable? I'm not willing to listen to shaming language. I'm willing to listen to information. What is the step-by-step plan of how a Kamala Harris will help an aspiring entrepreneur to materialize their business and to get a payback period within the time of her presidential duration and then be profitable 4 years after that? We need answers to those type of questions, right? But they're not here. Why are they not here? They're not here because they're not existent. So remember, anytime you hear this kind of language being used, this kind of language is the predecessor to the nail in the coffin by the person using this language. Because this is a Hail Mary attempt. They're down and they have no other way of trying to win. So they're going to start swinging for the air, swinging for the fences, like they say, trying to hit a grand slam, do whatever they can to try to save the game. But the game is lost.
But, because Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it.
So here goes another question. Those people who are at that function are probably fully committed to voting for Kamala Harris. It says on the posters there on the wall, Black voters, Harris and Walls. So these are people who are already committed to voting for Harris. Why are you lecturing them? They don't deserve a lecture. Not from you, at least, right? They're already doing what you're saying to do. They're there to support Harris and Walls. Why are you giving them a lecture? They don't want to hear any of this. If you're there and you already are committed and voting for Harris and Walls, don't you want to hear what you're going to get for your vote? Isn't that what you want to hear? If I'm there, right? See, I'm going to tell you guys something. How many people have worked at a job and you do your job really well, but there's a few people that don't do it well. And then you have to have these mandatory meetings where they give the entire department or they give the entire facility a speech about what the 2 or 3 people are doing wrong instead of just dealing with those 2 or 3 people. I don't like those. I don't want to sit through those. That's irritating to me. I spend my entire shift doing everything right, which is why I still work there. And I got to sit through this nonsense because you're too much of a coward to directly address those people that you have an issue with. I don't like sitting through that. That's effectively what Barack Obama is doing to these people who are already on this program. You already got these guys. What you need to be doing is telling these guys, maybe you can convince some of your friends about the benefits that you see in voting for Kamala Harris. But instead, Barack Obama is projecting. Barack Obama wants to talk crap to some black men. So Barack Obama is talking crap to the black men who are already compliant with what's going on, which is sad.
Makes me think, I'm speaking to men directly. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up.
Well, here's the truth of it, Obama. I don't feel at all. I don't feel at all. I look at information and I look at data, and what has me, looking at Kamala Harris as not a viable choice for me is the lack of information and the lack of clarity, the lack of clear-cut information, the lack of a stepwise plan. So, yeah. No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. Now, that might be what you think because you grew up in a household full of women and you were raised by your mom. So the only thing that you could possibly think is that any man that must have any type of problem with a woman, it must simply be because they're a woman. And that's because everybody that you were around and your closest associates are all women. So you're coming from a place of bias when you say that. I just can't understand why you wouldn't. Oh, that's exactly what it is. You don't understand. Again, more ways that we're not relatable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in fact, shout out to Patrick. Patrick says he's lecturing them because it's a safe space where he won't be confronted by someone like Robb. Yeah, absolutely. Because I'd have definitely said something. But again, they would have filtered it and made sure that, people who are asking or what they consider hostile questions, which is any question that, doesn't sound good, made sure that they got them up out of there, right?
With other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family.
Why is it that anywhere that we have to be talking about is at a barbershop? Anywhere we talk, it has to be at a barbershop. Yo, hey, Obama, hey, I got braids, bro. I don't be at a barbershop all like that. You know what I'm saying? My bad. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that anytime we have a conversation, it has to be quote unquote at a barbershop? It's never a board meeting. It's never a staff meeting. It's never an after work business trip. It's never a conference. It's never a professional organization get together. They have luncheons and different type of conferences and stuff like that where you go to different places and you have like professional conferences. It's never at a professional conference. It's at a barbershop. Talk at the barbershop. Hey, I don't go to the barbershop, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to the barbershop, bro. My scalp ain't like yours. You know what I'm saying? shout out to AB. AB said that I'm bald. I just use an electric razor. Hey, I ain't mad at it.
At a church who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been in our backs this entire time.
What does that have to do with Kamala Harris? And again, you guys can see Obama is talking from the place of being a female-raised daughter dad. Of course, the women in your life have your back. Those are the people in your back. Patrick said, Rob, how you get edged up? The lady that braided my hair edged me up. Once in a blue moon, I go to this little barbershop in Akron. My dude worked there. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I edge myself up for real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got y'all don't know how to use the Andis clippers and the attachments? You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, my dad taught me that. You know what I'm saying? You know? I bet you Barack Obama can't hook. He don't know how to hook up a Caesar. You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama don't know how to line his face up. Barack Obama don't know how to do none of that. But Barack Obama saying, "Well, I mean, women, bruh, you've grown up around all women. I would hope that your family loves you, right? And again, there's nothing wrong with women in your family loving you, but recognize your bias when you come from a place of bias. You can't see women doing anything wrong, my man, because you're a daughter dad, and the women in your family make up the majority of your family and the people who you're around all the time. So you just can't possibly see those people as having any type of flaws. I get it. Yeah, shout out to Brian. Yeah, and Blue Electric. The Andis Clippers, that Andis T-liner got you straight. Bro, facts. The gray one. Shout out to Al McCowan. What's good with it? So again, right? I love all my female family members to death. To death. Right? What they got to do with Kamala Harris? What do the females in my family? I don't owe Kamala Harris anything because of what females in my family did. Now, you know, just some real life experience, right? I just recently lost a cousin, a female family member. You know what I'm saying? To violence. Am I supposed to vote for Kamala Harris because of that? Somebody make this make sense. Just because you have great females in your family doesn't mean that you owe a stranger anything, because that's exactly what Kamala Harris is. She's a stranger. You're not from where I'm from. And when I say you're not from where I'm from, I'm not even going down the whole FBA route. You from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from the Midwest. I don't really relate to a lot going on in the West Coast. Shout out to the West Coast. I ain't got no problem with them. I got love for the people in the West Coast, but I you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know all that what's going on over there. You know what I mean? Now, if you go and listen to a lot of people from the West Coast, right? They're not really happy with Kamala Harris and her performance as a prosecutor. Right? I appreciate y'all's condolences. You know what I'm saying? But we don't owe Kamala Harris anything because of the outstanding women in our lives. Kamala Harris is not an outstanding woman in our lives. You know what I mean? She's not an outstanding woman in our lives. She's just somebody that we see on TV. No more, no less. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Not only is she just somebody that we see on TV, she's somebody that we see on TV who hasn't even pitched anything to us that we would be willing to engage. And that's important. Whoop, my bad.
Well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
And I'm not this now, hey, right? Hey. Now, if we're going down the single mom route, the woman that had your back as a single mom wasn't a black woman. So what that got to do with Kamala Harris? Because you're trying to sell Kamala Harris as a black woman, trying to, in coded language, say that we're race traitors if we don't just simply vote for her, and trying to relate women having our back, which we know that always gets related to your mom raising you, right? Again, how do we relate to that? Oh, Robb, you're policing blackness. No, I'm not. This is all coming from Barack Obama, and I'm questioning what Barack Obama is saying. You're trying to make this make sense to us, so make it make sense. Shout out to Patrick. Make sure y'all show Patrick some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Patrick. Patrick says, look, kids, they're getting indoctrinated. Obama is barf. Yo, bro, facts. And he's being a simp, bro. He's sitting up there acting
just like Obama. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like Obama. Nigga, Reaper keep it 1,000.
Facts. Reaper kept it 1,000. Obama did not.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Definitely appreciate it, bro.
They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And
so they raised us and work. Who raised you? Who raised you? And because of who raised you, we're supposed to vote for. We're supposed to vote for Kamala Harris. What's funny about that is actually like a little bit more accurate, but is actually accurate, right? But it's not accurate to his point, right? Barack Obama, it's not accurate to his point. But it's funny though. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama said, yeah, you know, the woman that raised me, you know what I'm saying? That's why you need to support Kamala Harris. Oh, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You got to fold the paper a bunch of different ways to get it, but I get it.
When we get in trouble, when the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
Listen, man, I'm going to tell you something. When I had some stuff happen to me and I had to deal with the system, my dad was there. My dad was there every single time. Not saying that women don't support none of that, but this is a relatability argument, right? My dad was there. Now, my mom, of course, was there with him, but my dad was on the front line. When it came to dealing with me and situations that I had, my dad was right there. And again, this is the non-relatable thing. And this is why I'm telling y'all, dudes that have testosterone are not going to resonate with this message. This is a message for men with estrogen. We're not going to relate to the heroism stories of mom. We love mom. Mom was there, right? But we relate to the heroism stories of dad. You know what I'm saying? If y'all agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. And I don't care what type of message that the mainstream media tries to put out there and says that black men and, you know what I'm saying, black people, black boys, we don't have fathers and dad. Man, my dad is still alive to this day. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Still married to my mom. And my dad was there for every situation that I had. I don't relate to this message. I never relate to a message that tries to take away from the value of my father, ever. My father is 95% responsible for me being who I am. Like it or not, you know what I'm saying? The days that I like myself, the days that I don't, it's all my dad. You know what I'm saying? The standards that I hold myself to are standards that I saw as things that I wanted to be like with my dad. My entire everything is based off my dad. And that's how it is with most dudes that have an influential father in their life. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. King, man. Make sure y'all show Mr. King some love because he said Barack Obama sitting up there sounding
just like Obama. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like Obama. Nigga, Reaper keep it 1,000.
Man, listen, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. Shout out to the people with you know what I'm saying, with influential dads in their life, right? Your mom is there and your mom loves you. But what do your mom always say? You better listen to your father. That's what your mom would tell you. That's what your mom would tell you. In a family, in a patriarchal family where your dad runs everything, you're not gonna get any diversion or deflection from your mom at all. You run to your mom with some stuff, she gonna say, you better ask your father. You getting sent right back to your dad. You think you're gonna get an easy answer with your mom? Nope. Go ask your dad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, don't relate to this type of message. So for one, the shame sense, the simp shaming and the shame sensitivity is not going to work here. It's not going to work here. And I'd advise it to not work for anybody, because what you are owed is if someone wants you to support them, they are owed to give you a plan. If you went to listen, let me listen. Business, right? You guys know how I come with the angles on things. Business is akin to politics, right? If you went to the bank and you told and you wanted a business loan from the bank, besides your credit score and all of that, what are you going to have to give the bank? You're going to have to submit to them or what? What are you going to have to give them? You're going to have to give them a business plan, right? Why do you have to give them a business plan, a proposal? Yeah. Shout out to Katsy, a business plan. Why do you have to give them a business plan? You have to give them a business plan because they need to know what the likelihood of you being able to pay back that loan is. And a lot of that likelihood has to do with the profitability of your project, right? Essentially, what Barack Obama is doing is asking you to put a vote deposit on Kamala Harris without presentation of a business plan. Who does business like that? This is one of the reasons why they want people to not be critical thinkers. They want you to not be critical thinkers. They want you to be so much of a non-critical thinker that you don't even know what to look for or what to ask for or what is suspicious versus what's not. It's suspicious if somebody wants you to give them a deposit without a plan or without a proposal. What is the proposal? What am I going to get in return for the vote? Barack Obama don't have anything on that for you. That's a red flag.
And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think.
So do the Democrats. The Democrats also have a history of denigrating us. You're sitting there denigrating them to their face. How many people would agree? Barack Obama sitting up there denigrating those men who are there supporting him to their faces. He's sitting there. He's sitting there denigrating them. You know what I'm saying?
That's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is. Putting women down. That's not acceptable.
Now you ought to be ashamed of yourself. There it is. It's not acceptable. Nobody's putting women down because they don't vote for Kamala Harris. Now, people can make that equivalency and fly off the handle and jump out the window and crash down onto the ground and say that that's what's going on, but that's not. It's not what's going on. At least it's not what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying?
That's not it. This shouldn't even be a question.
I'm not trying to be funny, man, but like, I hate to sound. Listen, most dudes who are actual men are not even going to sit up there and tolerate listening to another man talk to him like that. I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't. You're not going to sit there and talk to me like that, dude. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know where you came from, but you better get this conversation to a normal tone now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that kind of talk. Nah. No, sir. So CNN did a reaction to this, right? And we're going to take a look at it. Black men not voting for Kamala Harris is unacceptable. How many people agree with that notion? If you guys agree with that notion, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Rhonda. Rhonda says, safe to say his message fell flat. Yo, Rhonda, facts. Rhonda from the 216. Rhonda, to listen, your average person from the 216, average person from the, who are you talking to? We ain't gonna take that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna turn into a anywhere where you're at fight. You know what I'm saying? Better get that under control real quick. Like, who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Now, let me ask you guys this. If Barack Obama says all black men must vote for Kamala Harris, is that not indicative of a monolith? Is that not indicative of a monolith? Where's my paycheck at then? Where's my paycheck? Show me my W-2s. Where my money at if I'm working for Trump? I work for me. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Biden. I work for the autonomy of black people. Think for yourselves, not be a simp, a shame-sensitive simp. I'm not sitting up here trying to talk anybody out of voting for Kamala Harris that's voting for Kamala Harris. Show me my paycheck then. And refute my talking points. Now, there are actual people who do support Trump and want Trump to win the race. I could care less. I support extra political means. I support buying influence. I support that Lex Luthor shit. There's no candidate, Trump or Kamala Harris, that's going to help us to do the kind of stuff that I want to do. So now let me ask you this question, military muscle. What is politics on either side going to help you do? Come into my comment section and try to tell me who my employer is. I don't work for a political employer. And I'm going to tell you what else too. I see the people's comment sections that you be mentioning my name in. Shout out to them for knowing that you just instigate. All right? But the moment one of them people feel froggy and make a move, they're going to wish that they weren't born. So don't do that to somebody. Now you're sitting up here lying. You only watch the content that I make bashing Kamala Harris because you are a radical, blue pill, shame-sensitive, female-sensitive simp. If you didn't see all the content that I made roasting Trump about the false claims that he made about the Haitian migrants eating cats and dogs, something is wrong with you, and it shows all of the misinformation that you put into your content. I don't have to make content according to your guidelines. Did you write the YouTube community guidelines? Why are you asking me about my employer? You employed with YouTube? I can bash whoever I want to. But for you to sit there and say, I only bash Kamala Harris, disinformation, misinformation, nonsense. The hell out of here. You got Trump trying to rile white people up on some anti-black racism, sitting up there saying that Haitian people are eating cats and dogs. And I did about 7 streams and videos about that. And you're going to come over here and sit here and say that I, quote unquote, only bash Kamala Harris. I'm going to bash Kamala Harris as many times as I want to. And anybody else that I want to. But that's not a true statement. The hell out of here, dude. Now, you know what's interesting about you? On your other channel that we know about, you only bash black male content creators. What's up with that? Oh, yeah, he watched my channel, bro. He got videos up talking shit. Now, where's your content bashing somebody other than a black male? Right. Shout out to Caldona. Let me get the drop real quick.
Unsubstantiated fantasy! Lies! Lies! Lies!
You ever seen me do any content with Tariq Nasheed, Phil Scott, Afro Elite, or Black Alpha Network, or Lisa Cabrera? You ever seen me involved with those people? I've done reaction videos to Tariq. I've done reaction videos to Phil Scott. Black Alpha Network retweeted me one time. So you trying to say that I'm in some type of clique that don't exist that I'm not in? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't need to associate myself with other content creators to get people to watch my content or to get some type of name notoriety or something like that. That's you, bro. You don't even put my name in the sentence with people that I actually deal with. And where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck? Now I'm going to tell you who you an agent for. You an agent for David Duke. You an agent for Fox News too. Because the only people that you make videos about are black males. Now, let me ask you this question, bro. Are black voters a monolith? And this is a question for everybody. Are black voters a monolith? Now, in that last video that we just reacted to, right? Barack Obama had a whole room. Well, not a whole room. It was kind of scarce, right? But he had some black males in there. Did I call those black males stupid for supporting Kamala Harris? Did I say that they need to change their vote immediately? Did I say that they need to change their support? No. What did I say? I said, why is Obama lecturing them when they're already on board with the program? I think that what people like, you should actually be an online stalker, bro. That's what you should do. Leave the comment section alone. Pull up on me and say this. I don't know why you're saying in the comment section. Pull up and say that. Because I don't deal with people spreading lies on me, but what you going to do about it on the internet, right? But you big, you brolic, you got military muscles. Come pull up on me and say that and stream it.
Made a surprise visit to Kamala Harris's campaign headquarters in Pittsburgh. It was there that he got candid, maybe a little too candid if you are in the vice president's inner circle tonight. He warned that Harris is underperforming him with black voters, and he had a message specifically for black men.
Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for it.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Why would Barack Obama make the assumption that because people are not feeling Kamala Harris, that they just don't want a woman as the president? Did anybody go around and shame anybody like that when Hillary Clinton was running? Shout out to DeAndre. Shout out to Black Bitcoin Key. What's good with y'all? This motherfucker gonna say I'm an agent. Bro, I don't fuck with the political system at all, you clown. I don't fuck with Democrats. I don't fuck with Republicans. I don't fuck with the police. The fuck wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? The fuck?
So now you're thinking about sitting down or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
CNN political commentator Errol Lewis is in our fifth seat for this conversation. Errol, I guess he knew the cameras were there. It was an unscheduled stop, but that message was so pointed. In addition to him making it very clear, Kamala Harris is not doing what she needs to do with this core.
Nah, that shit just funny, man. And what's even more funny, right? Here go what's even more funny. Because you don't agree or because you feel a certain kind of way about certain things, you got to be an agent. You an agent. Who am I an agent for? You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with Trump. I don't fuck with Biden. I don't fuck with Harris. Who the fuck am I an agent for? I don't fuck with the police. I don't fuck with law enforcement. Who the fuck am I an agent for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not even the dude that call people agents. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, some of the people that he had me in the sentence with, they're called people agents, right? But I don't even do that. That ain't even my bag. I don't do that. I don't call people agents. Unless you're an actual agent and it's been proven. But I don't just make us, oh, they don't agree with me. They're an agent. I don't do that. I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying?
For Democratic constituency.
That's right. Although he is asking her, let's be clear, to go over a very high hurdle. Barack Obama got historic levels of black voter registration and turnout and support, and he did it twice. It was almost inevitable that it was going to
NY State of Mind. What's good with it, bro?
The long-term average of a handful of black voters.
Can I interrupt you for just a moment, just to show you something here? Because we went back, looked at 2020 exit polls. Biden got 92% of the black vote. Right now, according to Quinnipiac, this is in Pennsylvania, according to Quinnipiac, Harris is at 78. It's a big gap in the state right now. And that can be closed because Biden is not Barack Obama.
Biden is not, well, he was Obama's running mate. Certainly some spillover there. But you cannot ask of every black candidate in the post-Obama era, you've got to come up with 92% of the black vote every.
Listen, if we're not a monolith, why is this conversation taking place? This is what I want to know. If we're not a monolith, why do we have people like Military Muscle babbling in my comment section? If we're not a monolith, right? Because what Military Muscle is substantiating is he's substantiating that we're a monolith. What the hell? Would you guys agree? They just put out the numbers. They just put out the Lysol ratios. Yeah, in fact, shout out to Patrick Tyler. Patrick Tyler said they ain't got nothing for you to be an agent for. Yo, look, bro, if I was an agent, don't you think I have a nice, dope studio? You know what I'm saying? My own building. 4,000 or 5,000 people in my live chat. Every video going ham. Seriously, man, my YouTube channel don't even look like no agent channel. Agent channels be banging. Agent channels get paid. What the hell you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shit. Don't be putting extra money on my paycheck that I ain't spending. You know what I'm saying?
Time. That is just not a reasonable assumption. If the margins are as tight as they're likely to be in this race, that's going to cause you problems in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia and in Detroit and in Milwaukee and in Atlanta and in all of the.
So I want you guys to pay very close attention to this, man. You know, with people like that and with people like this that are having these conversations here, the issue is not to deal with the monolithism. The issue is to maintain the monolith. I want you guys to understand, maintaining the monolith, that's even more important to these people than Kamala Harris winning the election. Would you guys agree? If you guys would agree, give me a thumb. Listen, bro, I don't have no shame neither. Shout out to Ryan Glenn. You're not about to shame me. Bro, if I was getting a Trump paycheck, I would brag about it. I would brag about it, man. Listen, I would have a camera angled to where you would see my shiny gold Trump shoes. I would have a red MAGA hat on, red, white, and blue American flag in my background, and I'll be talking my stuff, and I'll be like, man, I'm finna get my paycheck from YouTube and from Trump. Why? Let me ask you this. Why do anybody in the world think that I would hide anything from them as if anybody is going to come do anything? Are you serious? Are you serious? Listen, if I was getting the Trump paycheck, I'm not scared of none of y'all. I would tell you, hey, I'm getting paid by Trump. You know what I'm saying? I got a paycheck. Man, shout out to y'all. And shout out to YouTube AdSense. And shout out to Patreon. And shout out to the few people that I got on locals. And shout out to my job. Y'all pay me as far as the content that I do. I don't get paid by no Trump. And listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. If I'm getting paid by Trump, I'm seriously shortchanging y'all. I should have videos produced every damn day. I should have fresh new live streams. I should have a dope OBS setup. I should have a high definition camera and all that. Now I set my shit up and my shit decent for what I could set up, but I ain't got no agent set up. I ain't got no headquarters. You know what I'm saying? The hell out of here. Shout out to the Perpetual 50. I think I actually got rid of that drop. Let me see if I still got it. Oh, yeah, I still got it. Make sure y'all throw them hashtag 50s in the chat.
This is the hardest record out.
Shout out to the Perpetual 50. Yeah, that shit's crazy. And this is what I be telling people, man. People got to be careful with that, just calling anybody and everybody an agent. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here. Stu said, people said, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy.
States. And so they're going to have to come up with a strategy. Now, Barack Obama is trying one strategy, trying to sort of connect with some of the black male voters who they think have been drifting away and are likely to drift away in these last 26 days. I'm not sure that's the right message. I mean, they had to try something.
It's a lot of pressure.
So look, I want you guys to see what's up on the screen, right? Man, listen, shout out to Alonda. My everything would be impeccable if I was I wouldn't even be doing nothing. You know how quickly I'd be able to come up with content? I would have somebody making thumbnails, somebody editing videos. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even understand. Do y'all see the way people like Officer Tatum and Black conservative, and I'm not saying that they are agents, right? I don't have no evidence of believing that they're agents. Now, you know, they might get some endorsements or whatever on the conservative side, but they're not hiding the fact that they're conservative. They're conservative flat out, right? Y'all see how quickly they can get content produced? That's because they have a team. I do everything. I make my own graphics. I make my own intros. I make my own outros. I make all of that. All of that across all of my channels. You know what I'm saying? If I was an agent, y'all would be getting like 10 videos on each channel. And do you know how much money I would be making? Do y'all know how much money? Man, listen, man, look. Are you serious? Do you know how much money I would be making? I would be, look, man, I would be kicking it. Kicking it. Lit. Man, I would have a whole new studio. The whole top row of the studio would be Ciroc and Grey Goose, and the bottom row would be Hennessy. Seriously? With the special bottles. And a big bottle of Ace of Spades. What? Cut the games. My ride would be, I would have I would have a 2024 blade modeled Dodge Charger with the lights, with the high intensity discharge lights to look kind of purple. So they look like UV. So they look exactly like blades. Are you serious? The hell out of here. And I'm going to be like, I got this with my agent money. I'm not telling people to be an agent, but I got this with my agent money. Seriously? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I mean, if you rock with an agent, you rock with an agent. But I'm gonna tell you, yo, hey, this is what I'm on right here. It's not what I'm on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Pressure. I mean, this is not a nice message. This is a very stern message.
Let me ask you a question, Abby and Nina. Let me say, I find it very interesting that we're trying to reach out to white men. We're trying to reach out to black men. The people whose rights are really on the ballot right now are women. And we're begging all.
Hey, look at that. Look. So they got, I want y'all to pay very close attention. So now this right here, right? What do we do about that? You see how they are discussing black men. The white girl comes along and says, you know what I'm saying? The white girl comes along and says, yo, the real problem is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's women. It's women whose rights is on the line. Nobody's rights are on the line. No one's rights are on the line. You know what I'm saying? That's not a true statement. The only people whose rights are on the line are more than likely people who could be subject to some immigration policy that would not favor them if Trump won. No one's getting their rights taken away. We're all going to be able to vote next year. I don't know why, you know what I'm saying, if it makes people feel a certain kind of way, but you will be able to use the same drinking fountain and you will be able to use the same bathroom as a white person, which I don't know why doing what white people at one point in history was the pinnacle of what we should be able to do versus what we shouldn't be able to do. But since that's how the standard was laid out and made, then, you know what I'm saying, like, we will still be able to do the same things as white people in many cases. Of course, we got constraints and issues, racial wealth gap and all that, lack of businesses that we got to deal with, right? But as far as, for the most part, in general terms, generally speaking, all these things, toilets, drinking fountains, they will be available, right? But shout out to Black Spider. But now CNN got old girl on here sitting up here talking about, well, what about the women? And while Abby and this black dude are sitting here trying to talk about the black voters. So they don't know, they're not even organized in what they're doing.
Just like a woman. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. I'm like a Reaper, keep it 1,000.
Right?
26 days. I'm not sure that's the right message. I mean, they have to try something.
It's a lot of pressure. I mean, this is not a nice message. This is a very stern.
Facts. Shout out to Phil. Make sure y'all show Phil some love. Phil said free smoke for any lame talking vote and not get reparations. Yeah, I agree. Right? Make sure y'all show Phil some love. Throw some flames, oh, you know what? Shout out to Phil, man. Phil threw the big bag. Here goes some Trump agent money. Hey, Trump agent money. Trump agent money. Here goes some MAGA money.
In Springfield.
So don't push me. Ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Kitty. Gone overseas where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took when that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And the cat got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Shout out to Phil, man. Make sure y'all show Phil some love. You know what I'm saying? This is how we fund the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching dimes.
Shout out to Hula Gang. What's good with the Hula Gang? I told y'all, man, that cat that looked like he got on the hammer pants, he be putting in work. You know what I'm saying? That little cat with the black fur. In the like his legs got the black fur and his torso got the white fur. In the bottom right hand corner, he be going ham. You know what I'm saying? If he had came out in the early 90s, Hammer would have scooped him up.
Message.
Let me ask you a question, Abby and Nina. Let me say, I find it very interesting that we're trying to reach out to white men. We're trying to reach out to black men. The people whose rights are really on the ballot right now.
Nobody, they don't. White men are reached out to in a different way. they don't really make these. We're reaching out to white, like Kamala Harris's campaign has done this, right? But historically in politics, they don't really make these particular kinds of appeals to white men. So what this white lady is saying is not accurate. Where are these appeals to white men coming from? Shout out to Mimi. What's good with it, Mimi? Yeah, right. Shout out to NY State of Mind. Facts. Myron was literally an agent. Yeah. His, I mean, he got a YouTube channel called Fed It. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, okay, bro. Real quick, shout out to everybody watching. Make sure if y'all haven't smashed the like button yet, do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, do me a favor, hit the bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media.
Question, Abby and Nina. Let me say, I find it very interesting that we're trying to reach out to.
Now, check this out, right? Here go another thing, right? And we got to do this, right? Because you got to do this. Like I said, if you're not gonna pull up, you know what I'm saying? It don't even matter, right? But we do got to do this. We're not even bashing Kamala Harris in this live stream. We're talking about Obama and these simp shaming tactics that Obama is using, right? The only thing I said about Kamala Harris is factual information. I didn't call her no names. You know what I'm saying? I said, here's what I can relate to. Here's what I can't relate to. Here's my issue. Not enough information, not enough explanation of how her policies will cascade into the end effects that I'd like to see, right? I didn't bash the people that was there in support of her. Didn't do none of that. This is a live stream about Barack Obama and these old school simp shaming tactics. We ain't even talk about Kamala Harris really, except for just, you know, I need more information. And the election is undecided until November 5th. Somehow that turns you into an agent. Turns you into an agent on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeAndre for being a like enforcer, man. Make sure y'all throw them like enforcers in the chat for DeAndre and do exactly what he's saying. Definitely appreciate you, bro. DeAndre being a mod extraordinaire.
White men, we're trying to reach out to black men. The people whose rights are really on the ballot right now are women. And we're begging all these men to pay attention to us and to care enough about this election, to vote, to come out, to support us. I feel like Barack going on the campaign trail right now makes perfect sense, of course, right? He's a top surrogate for...
Shout out to Al McCowan. Al McCowan said, look, bro, he took his like back. Yo, hey, go ahead, take it back. Anybody else that feel like him, take that like back too. Y'all can unsubscribe, do whatever y'all need to do.
Democrats, he should be out there doing the work right now. I think it's so amazing to me that with women's rights on the line, we're spending so much time focusing on making sure men care.
Because
there it is right there, man. What y'all think about that? So this goes back to that. So again, right? So this is me bashing Kamala Harris, right? Hey, God, fellas, shout out to the fellas, to the people that identify as fellas, right? Not to the people in the comment section sitting up
just there. Like a woman. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. Nigga Reaper keep it 1,000.
Right? Not those of y'all that's sitting up there acting just like a woman. This for the fellas, right? What do y'all think about this? No one should care about your vote. These are the quote unquote Democrat allies, but on a video where I'm not bashing Kamala Harris, all I do is bash Kamala Harris. I'm just saying. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. She got her ponytail pulled back so tight, it's making her forehead bulge out.
That with women's rights on the line, we're spending so much time focusing on making sure men care.
Because men, I don't know, it's because men are the problem
men
right now.
I mean, women.
And by the way,
and then also we're a problem too. So you see, Abby, because it's men who are the problem. Maybe your campaign is not effective, and that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe campaign effectiveness is the problem. Remember, you allegedly still want these votes, right?
The line, we're spending so much time focusing on making sure men care.
Because men, I don't know, it's because men are the problem
men
right now.
Care.
I mean, women. And by the way, Governor Walz, according to Politico, is going to be going out on a mentor, literally a tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio hasn't been blue for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why they keep acting like it. But yeah, this is absolutely SBE. Shout out to Ty City. You know what I'm saying? This is absolutely SBE. If y'all would agree that this is SBE, give me a thumbs down or give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, this is not SBE, then give me a thumbs down. This is shame, blame, and explain. This is political shame, blame, and explain. We're going to shame you, right? We're going to blame you. And then we're going to explain why you need to be shamed into what it is we're trying to shame you to do without any explanation of how what we're trying to shame you into benefits you. Okay? This is shame, blame, and explain in its pure form.
He did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are Black men being lectured to? Why are Black men being belittled in ways that no other vote?
Because we're a monolith, and you're part of that monolith, right? You know what I'm saying? But we're a monolith. We listen. It again. I know people don't like that, right? But when you identify a problem, you have to keep the problem in the bullseye until you alleviate the problem. And the problem is that all of the people who maintain the monolith, right? All of the people who maintain the monolith are the ones who say that we're not a monolith. The expectation here from CNN, from ABC, from Barack Obama, from Kamala Harris, from Military Muscle, who was in the comment section, and other people on YouTube, other content creators, is that you need to do what you're told. I have never tried to tell anybody who's voting for Kamala Harris to not vote for Kamala Harris. Shout out to my man TD Media Group. You guys know TD Media Group has announced and said that he supports Trump, right? He wants Trump to win the election, right? I'm indifferent on the election. He's supporting Trump. Nothing wrong with that, right? I know people that are supporting Kamala Harris. What I advocate for is intellectual honesty and critical thought. And of course, I have my own opinions. And one of my opinions is that the Kamala Harris campaign does not appeal to critical thinkers, and it is not intellectually honest. And we've seen multiple examples of that. Multiple examples of that. Why people would want to deal with intellectual dishonesty is beyond me. Don't most people want to know exactly what's going on? Don't you want to know exactly what you're getting, what you're paying for? I think most people do. That's one of the reasons why they set up organizations like the Better Business Bureau, right? Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre said TD is a Russian bot. Unsubscribe. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. So I'm not going to be the person that'll sit there and I'm not going to try to force my political beliefs on you. Why is that? Because I do not believe in the monolith. I believe in Black people having autonomy. I respect people's differences, right? But I don't try to force my worldview on somebody. If you want to know my worldview, you're more than happy to, listen. You're more than welcome, right? But I'm not going to force my worldview on you as you are an incorrect person. I don't do that. That is what the monolith is doing. If we're not a monolith, then how can somebody come out and say all Black men are expected to vote for Kamala Harris? You are a defective Black man if you don't vote for Kamala Harris. If we're not a monolith. They got you on quality control. Lysol ratios, vote for who we tell you to. Got you on quality control. They got that standard deviation. They got that variance. They got the minimum outliers so that the outliers can be a controllable, unforeseen element. They running quality control. If y'all would agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. You watching real time, running quality control on you. Why are black men getting lectured? Now, here goes my thing. Black men only getting lectured if you take this as a lecture. This is nonsense. This is BS. And if they really want to get their feelings hurt or embarrassed, then they'll bring somebody like me on the show. Right? Because I'm going to tell you all, the reason why Barack Obama is lecturing, and the reason why most of these people are lecturing, Barack Obama in particular, is because his entire life he was surrounded by women. So he's using female talking points to express the disdain that he has towards men not following his agenda in the only way that he knows how. He has muscle memory with female talking points. You're a daughter dad that was raised by a single mom. That's a double whammy. You know what I'm saying? That simping is concentrated in Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? So that is why he comes with the points that he talks with. And in addition to that, right, he's with a party that is actually part of their ideologies and worldview. So that's why he does it. There's a answer for that question. There's a reasonable response that can be backed by looking at past history, behavior, and data, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So that's why because I'm gonna tell you something. For the most part, your dad might give you a little bit of a lecture, but your dad usually don't give you a disciplinary lecture. You know what I'm saying? Your dad will give you a life lecture. At the very least, your dad will give you a I'm proud of you lecture, or he'll give you a disappointment lecture. But you're not going to get no disciplinary lecture. Most times when you get the disciplinary lecture, that comes from your mom. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Boy, your dad ain't got time for you ought to be ashamed of. Your dad going to punch you or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Your dad going to smack you in the back of the head. Your dad going to push you. Your dad going to yell at you so loud your heart stop. You know what I'm saying? That's what your dad going to do. This is we know what this is. Barack Obama is talking to men the way that his male-female interaction has been. So his reference point is talking to women. You know what I'm saying?
Are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And why, as a politician?
And again, why do we all have to vote the same? That's my question. We're not a monolith. One of the two has to stop. Either people have to stop saying we're not a monolith, or there has to be a release of the requirement of us all doing the exact same thing. We can't have them both at the same time, y'all. Either we are a monolith or we not. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say she look like the Bride of Frankenstein, that white lady. She do look like the Bride of Frankenstein.
We should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Walz campaign to lay at the feet.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to this whole idea of the quote-unquote bodily autonomy, right? Are women losing their bodily autonomy, or is the federal government losing its autonomy as far as determining the appropriation of where abortions can versus can't take place? Which one is actually happening here?
Of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think? Sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of?
It might be some. Listen, black men are socialized in the same society.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something about black men that you might not know. I'm gonna tell y'all something about black men that you might not know. Black men love our mothers, and black men love our female family members dearly. Black men support our mothers and support our female family members. why would someone think that because Kamala Harris is a quote unquote woman, an alleged black woman, that would be the reason why no one would support her? Now, listen, check this out. We're going to talk about this across different spectrums, right? I've never, ever heard like white people or anybody for that instance, right? I've never heard in any white circles, the white woman is God. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of circles of black people, promote black women to the level of a deity. You know what I'm saying? The level of a omnipotent deity. So a lot of these dudes, right? A lot of people believe that the black woman is God. So what they're saying on here is that a lot of black men don't believe that a black woman could be the president, but a lot of black men believe that the black woman is God. I think that on a scale of, deities and entities, I think that God is higher and more capable than people, right? So you're talking to a group of people who has deified women and saying that they don't think that they're capable of doing a human function. That is insanity at its finest. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down.
But do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of
it might be some listen, black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny maybe a part of it? But again, is President Obama and is the Harris Waltz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing?
This is not just about,
I don't think so.
It's not just about Pennsylvania. It's not just about men. It sounds like there's a concern that there's a broad problem for Vice President Harris with the blue wall. It's basically, according to the poll of polls, no clear leader, a tied race essentially in all three of these battleground states. I don't know that this is because Trump has run a great campaign, but I mean,
I don't think it's that.
I mean, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but he has struggled against Kamala Harris in this early stage, but he's still kept this race pretty tight and maybe has made some inroads in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, absolutely, he has.
So again, what I don't understand, I need y'all to help me out with this. How are we not a monolith, yet there's an expectation of us all to vote the same? And also me questioning that somehow makes me an agent. Shout out to Al McCowan. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I was bringing that up is because there's a large contingency of people that do that. There's a big part of, black people that do believe that and that do follow that. And for them to try to say that, those black people, because they're part of us, right? That those people don't think that a woman is capable of something is wild. It's bizarre. It is not consistent with that talking point. You know what I'm saying?
Vice President Harris's high watermark was about a week and a half after the convention. It's slowly been trickling down. That Quinnipiac poll showing the vice president down in Michigan and Wisconsin sent alarm bells throughout every Democrat office in the country. But I want to say this, the blue wall is cracking and black men are just one part of a broader puzzle that she hasn't been able to reach. Now, to her credit, she hasn't been wrong.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Why didn't Barack Obama come out and shame the Teamsters? Shout out to the Hula Gang. Hula Gang said it was a Democrat agent that accused you of being an agent. I'm not surprised. Now, listen, there's all these initiatives, right? There's this, what is this? There's this new initiative now. It's called like Never Kamala or something like that. You guys heard about that one? There's the Never Harris or something like that. There's the undecided, right? Those people in Michigan, the people that are like pro-Palestine. And then there's the Teamsters. Why did they, none of them got accused of being agents, right? And also, none of them got addressed by former presidents. Abandon Harris. That's it. Yeah. Abandon Harris. Shout out to PD that remains. Yeah. And again, this is basically shaming is pivoting the discussion, right? Shaming is a pivoting situation, because what happens is you get accused of you're not supporting a woman, you're a misogynist, and now you have to somehow prove that you're not a misogynist, right? Instead of talking about your talking points, or like what you guys saw in the comment section, right? You're an agent. So now you have to do this proof of you're not an agent. I don't have to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Anytime there's an accusation, it's the burden of proof is on the people making the accusation to show the proof. If you don't show the proof of any type of accusation, then you just go about your business, or you could just, continue to keep trolling and, do whatever you do, right? I like to troll, so I'm a troll. I'm gonna play the game, right? So there's a lot of different people that are moving in a direction opposite of the Democrats, right? The Teamsters, abandon Harris, and undecided. None of those people have to justify why they're doing what they're doing. They're able to freely do it. The monolith has put out the web and is trying to reel people back in. Why is that? Nobody went and got a past union president to say, I don't know what's wrong with this new generation of union people. Nobody did that. Why is that?
Running for very long. This campaign's new. This is a new experiment of replacing somebody late in the cycle. So, okay, we'll give her that. However, she's struggling with union voters. Two of the biggest unions ever didn't endorse her. She's struggling with Muslim Americans in Michigan, according to CARE's own numbers. She's struggling with Hispanics in California. She's not expected to remake the Obama coalition. That's impossible. That's a 1 in a million, especially given the short time frame. But she has a lot of bigger problems, and that's why you see Tammy Baldwin panicking about being down more.
Here's Debbie Dingle. People need to see the real Kamala Harris. This is what she told Axios. They need to let her get in the union halls and just talk to people. Whatever you think about Trump, he's personable.
Well, I think that's one of the things. I mean, he obviously, from 2016 all the way through 2020, now through 2024, he comes off as a fighter. He comes off as a fighter for whatever issue matters to you. I think that's one of his big appeals. One of the challenges, I think, for the vice president's campaign is that I don't think Barack Obama is the right surrogate to go out there and do it. No, now, he's beloved by Democrats.
Now, here goes the thing, right? And like I said, this is the fake outrage. There's going to be a lot of people who aren't black, a lot of people that are not black American, who are going to try to sit here and give you guys commentary about this as if they understand the issue, or why is this such an important issue? Yada, yada, yada. I think this goes beyond politics. This is one of the reasons why I think that this is such an important issue. And the reason why I think that this goes beyond politics is because I think that this is a tactic that is used as a play on black people's emotion and self-esteem to get people to do things that they wouldn't do under a normal circumstance. And I think that people do this in more walks of life than just politics. That's why I think that it's an important issue. None of these other people are invested like that. These other people, non-black content creators, you'll see these people of color and, you know what I'm saying, these white people with all these nice backgrounds and nice streaming rooms that just got all the insightful outrage of why, oh my God, I'm just so outraged that Barack Obama shamed black men. They don't care. They don't care. I care because the quality control ratios. That's why I care. You're going to see other black content creators that will literally sit here and make videos about this, and then in a month or two when this is over, they're going to use the same type of shaming, the same type of talking to try to get you interested or on their side about other things. That's not what I'm here for. I want people to be able to articulate. I want people to be able to have an actual conversation. I want people to be able to be able to critically think. Shout out to the people in the comment, man. My comment section does not agree with me all the time at all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't agree with me, but I got respect for everybody in my comment section, and I appreciate y'all coming through. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know that I got respect for y'all, and I'll never disrespect y'all in any way. I respect the differences. What I appreciate is intellectual honesty and autonomy. And you can't be autonomous if you're part of a monolith that's going nowhere. And that's where these people want to keep you at.
He's beloved generally by Americans, but he's never had coattails. Aside from 2008, when he first got elected, Democrats lost more than 1,000 seats in state and federal offices during his 8 years. He was the sitting president when Donald Trump won Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin with Barack Obama campaigning in Michigan and in Pennsylvania, and it didn't change the narrative. So I just don't know if he has the coattails. He'll fire up the base, but he's going to get anybody new to come out and vote.
You know, the other mistake that they're making.
One thing that they're not, and I want you guys to understand how the quality control is. Do you all notice that like the quality control is so tight, right? The quality control is so tight. They're not even considering this messaging turning people off. They're not even considering the messaging turning people off. They're not saying this messaging could have a disastrous, a disastrous outcome, right? And the disastrous outcome occur because people are tired of being talked to like this. They're not doing that. They don't even think that this is going to matter. My advice to everybody is make sure that this matters. Make sure that this is an issue in the 2028 election. And you know I ain't going nowhere, so we definitely going to keep harping on it, right? Shout out to Miss Niecy. Make sure y'all show Miss Niecy some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Miss Niecy. Get your forks out, get your knives out, get your plates out. It's time to eat.
In Springfield, there
don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Eat the cat.
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball.
Eat the cat.
I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter.
Eating the dog.
Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat.
It's a shame, it's a pity. Thought overseas where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there, it's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And they eat the cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Yo, wow, man. Oh man, y'all, wow, man. We got to give Miss Niecy the full drop package. Shout out to Miss Niecy for supporting the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, bitch.
Silence. Silence. I ain't got no money, punk.
Yeah, man. Shout out to AB Promotions, man. That big girl was about to slap herself in the face. Oh man.
Is focusing too much on personality. I mean, Kamala Harris has got an appealing personality, and we're all getting to know her. But this is the incumbent party. She was part of an administration. They have a decent record to run on. You could say to black men, for example, $7 billion for historically black colleges and universities.
We all didn't go to historically black colleges and universities. I'm an agent, you know what I'm saying? But I tell y'all the truth about where I went to college at. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we've done certain things. We've had an economy where we've had not one, not two, but over 36 record highs in the stock market this year. If you've got a retirement account, that is helping you.
Now, how about as far as the record highs in the stock market? How many black business owners have benefited from their business gaining equity with those gains in the stock market? How about that? How about that? Let me ask you guys this. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. How many businesses are black owned in particular, right? Black American owned, that are part of the S&P 500, that are part of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, part of Moody's Standard Index, right? How many black-owned businesses? I would like to see some of those things in my lifetime, right? Shout out to Lavanya, shout out to Alonda. Yeah, none. I would like to see those in my lifetime, right? When you get your business and your business qualifies for those type of financial indicators, now you're starting to get some economic power. They want what they're selling you is appetizers and not a meal. You know what I'm saying? And that, if you ask me, voters are becoming more savvy. People now have access to instant information. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has access to Google. You got Chat GPT. People can look these things up. And when you look these things up, you find consecutive shortfalls and failures that have not added up to all of the investment that we've put in. And at some point, you have to do a cost-benefit analysis. And if you ask me, what's going on now is that the Democrats don't like the fact that they are being held to a standard of a cost-benefit analysis by many of the voters that they have a legacy of failing for. And as much as that gotta hurt, hey, they just gotta suck that one up. They gotta suck that one up. They gotta suck that up like a Hoover vacuum cleaner at one of Diddy's freak-offs. And it is what it is. No amount of shaming language, no amount of anything is gonna stop this train. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tarek. What's good with it, bro? No amount of shaming language is gonna stop this train.
Co-anchor Jeff Bennett, former Montana governor, former Democratic Governor Steve Bullock, and Mark Short, former Chief of Staff to Vice President Mike Pence, and a Meet the Press contributor. So Jeff Bennett, clearly the campaign has polling indicating they have a problem with male voters, particularly young black men. Can Barack Obama overcome that seeming reluctance, according to the polls, to vote for a woman?
It's an interesting. Another thing that this does with Barack Obama doing this is that this attempts to set up and substantiate some type of narrative that there's some type of ingratiated misogyny in black people, especially in black men. And that's not true. Now, there are misogynists, right? But there's no ingratiated cultural misogyny when it comes to us. But Barack Obama is saying that. And again, Barack Obama could be saying that coming from his own experience, right? But Barack Obama, in Barack Obama's experience, his dad might have had ingrained, misogyny in his culture. That's where the cultural differences come. Now, I'm not saying that he did because I don't know, but I'm just saying that could have been a thing, right? But that's not something that we have. And for him to make that statement and make that charge without any type of facts behind it, it's not really intellectually honest. But as you will see, as it pertains to dealing with the monolith, right? Intellectual honesty is not a priority. End goals are the priority. And the end goal is to shame you into doing something without bringing forth logic and facts. It's to simply get you to do what you're told to do. I want you guys to pay very close attention, and I want you guys to watch some of these content creators that make these type of videos. You will notice that in most cases, most of what they do is name call. They'll say you're ignorant. They'll say you're stupid. That's mostly what they'll do. They won't respectfully rebut a point. That's because they can't. That's because they can't.
Question, Andrea. And former President Obama certainly sees it as imperative to outline what he sees as the stakes in this election. But there is this question as to whether or not Barack Obama's approach is effective. In preparing to speak with you, I spoke to a handful of Democratic operatives who made the point that there is no other group that votes in as large numbers and as consistently for Democrats as black voters. That includes men and women. It wasn't black men who delivered Donald Trump to the White House in 2016. And if Donald Trump wins again in November, that will not be the result of the vote delivered by black men. If Barack Obama wants to separate and castigate voters based on race and gender, he could make that argument to white women. It was white women who put Donald Trump over the top back in 2016.
Now, that's a good point, right? Where's the shaming? Where's the SBE? Your mama white. Where's all that at? If you ask me, right, as far as I'm concerned, this is hate speech. Right? This is hate speech. Coming from a hostile entity. My thing is, sell us the candidate. Sell us the candidate. They're not able to sell the candidate. As a result of not being able to sell the candidate, we have to resort to playground tactics. And resulting to playground tactics is even more of a play on your intelligence, because they actually think that those playground tactics will get people to respond to them. They might get a response like this, but they're not going to get the response that they want, where somebody says, "Oh man, what have I thinking? I haven't been a good black person. I need to go and do this." No one's going to do that. No one's going to do it, and nobody should do that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares.
It is true that men tend to be more conservative, fiscally conservative, socially conservative. It is true that is true as men age, and that has been true throughout modern history. So to suggest that somehow black men have a different imperative than any other part of the electorate strikes some as unfair. Notably, when Kamala Harris is...
Well, here's the thing, right? It's the monolith. Stop saying that we're not a monolith. It's these very channels that, like MSNBC and the Breakfast Club and all that, these channels say that we're not a monolith. Yet when you're seeing non-monolithic voting data, all of a sudden it's a problem, it's an outrage. You're misogynistic, you're not loyal to your race. It's the inconsistencies for me. It's the inconsistencies for me. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick said, Rob is crazy. You think a political party who can get damn near a majority of voting bloc would do all they can to continuously hold that group would be a no-brainer. No, they attack that group. Well, not necessarily, right? They're using the abuser relationship techniques. If you should look up some psychological journals about the relationship between abuse and abusers. They're using the abuser feedback loop. People who are victims of domestic violence, physical violence, those people sometimes have some of the longest relationships, longest marriages in the world, because of the psychological damage that occurs, and people start to not process information properly as a result of inappropriate emotions controlling their decision making. That's what they're banking on. This is psychological tricks. This is psychological warfare. This is what I'm saying about quality control. This is what I'm saying about quality control. And if worse comes to worse, they're going to bring out the thing that they think will create the most traumatic stimuli to get you back into the quality control. This is Pavlov's dog techniques. You know what I'm saying? Operant conditioning, classical conditioning with positive reinforcement. Except for when it comes to the abuser feedback loop, right? You will never get positive reinforcement as the abused. You will only get negative reinforcement. Because as your abused mind is not processing information properly, you will believe that any acknowledgement is positive reinforcement. The Democrats running quality control on people with Lysol ratios of voting shows that the mind control is still effective and that these tactics will still work. However, the outlier amount is starting to get larger, which is one of the things that they're truly worried about. Okay?
Has been on the receiving end of this question about what is she going to do to make sure that she can win the votes of black men. She makes the case that black men are like any other group of voters and that she has to earn their vote. And that is what the campaign says she is aiming to do. Later this week, she's going to sit down with Charlemagne, who is a popular radio DJ who has carriage in 150 plus markets in battleground states. It's going to be a radio town hall, and she will take calls from voters, majority of whom will happen to be black. And so that is how you do it. The campaign has raised, what, $1 billion? You have to take that money and match it with a get out vote effort to mobilize those voters. It's not about lecturing in a perceived condescending or patronizing tone.
It's interesting that you say that, because their polling certainly indicates Barack Obama certainly feels this strongly. That's what he talked about in that stop, the retail stop that he made. Feels very strongly that there's a problem, and certainly the polling indicates that they've fallen behind.
Now, mind you, the thought process is not that the campaign is ineffective and that they haven't been delivering. That can't possibly be it. The problem is us. You guys heard Abby said it. The men are the problem. Men are the problem. You hear that on YouTube constantly. We're the problem. The campaign can't possibly be the problem. The failure to deliver can't be the problem. Black men have to be the problem. If we're such a problem, then why are you drawing us to what you're doing? In my experience with problems, one of the best ways to deal with problems, the first best way is to eliminate the problem. And the second best way is to put as much distance between yourself and a perceived problem as you possibly can. Yet that's not what we see going on here. What we see going on here is claiming we're a part of the problem and then attempting to draw us into your machine. It doesn't make any sense. If that makes any sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make any sense, then give me a thumbs down.
Where they needed to be, where Joe Biden was, for instance. They were going to win the black vote, clearly, but they're not going to win it by big enough margins to offset his big, powerful vote among white men, especially those working class blue collar workers in Pennsylvania and Michigan. The union vote that she's not getting. She didn't get the endorsements from two key unions. Tim Walz is focusing on the blue wall states, of course. He's spending the weekend watching high school football and hunting. Is that going to sway white men? Let me ask you, Governor Steve Bullock.
Look, Andrea, I've known Tim Walz since the first day he was governor. We served together. What you see with Tim is what you get. And what you see and get is a coach, a high school teacher, a member of the National Guard. So I think that he out talking to people.
Listen, I'm going to tell you about my high school teachers. My high school teachers told boys to stay out of the girls' bathroom. That's what my high school teachers did back when I was in high school. That's what, the middle school teachers did. That's what my elementary school teachers did. I never had any teachers that encouraged the boys to go in girls' locker rooms or go in girls' bathrooms. But that's Tim Walz's thing. And I guess as a quote unquote high school teacher or a high school educator, somehow we're supposed to replace our memories of high school with this new worldview that they want us to have. But that just didn't happen. How many of you all grew up with the teachers at your school encouraging the boys to go in the girls' locker rooms or the boys to go in the girls' bathrooms? Did any of y'all grow up and experience any of that? I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Ex-urban areas, making sure that folks know that Governor Walz, like he has, will have their backs. No. What we're seeing from the Harris-Walz campaign is no groups being taken for granted. They're reaching out. But look, I was at a high school football game last night. That's actually what most Americans are doing 25 days out from an election. they're not talking about elections. And Tim Walz can tap into that and remind people why he and Harris are actually.
I want you guys to also notice how they're kind of telling on themselves, right? They're going for people who are not, quote unquote, talking about the elections. People who are not, quote unquote, talking about the elections more than likely are people who are probably not as privy to current situations going on in politics. So again, while they're making this projection of the quote unquote low information voter, they actually need a low information voter to be able to swindle. They actually need a low information voter that they're able to swindle.
Actually going to be fighting for their best interests.
And according to their own polling and a lot of other polling, Harris is 14 points behind among.
And another thing that people just need to pay very close attention to, how like literally, you know, when they bring up these critiques of how Barack Obama is talking to the black men, nobody really cares. All these people, except for this black dude here, right? They all agree that this is the way that black men need to be addressed and need to be dealt with and talked to. So just understand that as well.
White men in your state, it's key to the party holding the Senate. John Tester doing better than Harris in increasingly red state. He's still down by around 7 or 8 points behind Republican Tim Sheehy. And at 17, you know, he's overcome a lot, but Harris is 17 points behind in your state. I don't know if what you're hearing from, you know, people in Montana matches that. NBC's Ryan Nobles was talking about this to voters there just this past couple of days. Let's look at what he had to say.
How do you separate yourself from national Democrats, Kamala Harris in particular?
Look, I've got my own brand here in the state, and it's different than the national Democrats. I would have never been elected the first time or any of the other times if it had been the same as a national Democrat. I'm a person who believes in small business. I believe in family farm agriculture. I believe in the working man, and I believe that those are the kind of public education. Those are the kind of things that help build this country.
Governor John Tester is tailor-made for Montana.
What's interesting about this is that what happened to talking about the black men? What happened to talking about the black men? Right? Guess it's not that important, huh? I guess it's not that important. So let's take a quick look at what they are saying on the Hill. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, do me a favor, take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
Good morning and welcome to Rising. We have a great show for you today. As always, I'm Amber Duke, joined at the table by Kevin Walling. Kevin, good to see you.
Amber, good to be with you. Happy Friday.
Happy
always
Friday.
Love you joining on the end of the week. And we've got a big show for you today. But
now here goes my question. This is my question for everybody. Shout out to DeAndre. Make sure y'all throw some like enforcers in the chat for DeAndre. How authentic do you guys think? I know you guys seen it all over the web, right? All the fake outrage. Everybody's fake outrage because a lot of people are fake outraged about this, right? How much of that fake outrage do y'all think is authentic? Primarily the videos that are made by non-black content creators about this situation. They care, right? They care. So here go the thing, right? I'm going to be keeping track, right? And every single non-black content creator that made a video about this, when anybody else talks crazy about black people or black men, it's not going to be those people that talked crazy that's going to get a reaction video. It's going to be your lack of reaction video that gets a reaction video. Because let's just keep it a buck. Barack Obama is not the first person to talk like this or to do this. As far as shaming goes, back in the days of Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of black men that had the picket sign, "I'm a man," around their neck. So this is something that's been going on. And this is something that's been going on particularly coming from white people, coming from the children of America. This came from white people. Barack Obama got these simp shaming tactics from historical reference. People's grandparents, right? Because his grandparents didn't grow up through none of this, right? His parents didn't grow up through none of this. So he got this tactic from good old America, as American as apple pie. old-fashioned American values be what make you talk to a black man like this. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now what I find fascinating, right? You will see a lot of people that are conservative, a lot of conservatives, politically anti-black. The politically anti-black have grabbed onto this issue and are trying to ride it to the sunset. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to ride it to the sunset. But to me, right, and if we're holding everything to the same standard, any conservative that has a problem with Barack Obama talking to black men the way that Fox News talks about black men, all of a sudden you starting to fall on the side of woke. Because as it comes with the white woke tenets, right? Any critique of black men, in particular, black people, secondary, is factual. Any rebuttal to critique about black men or black people is woke. No critique about non-black people is correct. And any critique of non-black people is woke. So this right here is actually what conservatives should be doing. Is conservatives should be making a video talking about Barack Obama gives based speech to black men. That's what all the conservative videos should say that. So you don't get to latch onto this as if you somehow relate to us, like, you know what I'm saying, like you down with us and all this all of a sudden. No. You got to go make the video that says Barack Obama goes based on black men. Because y'all clowns. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to make a video with your hat to the back and your mouth all the way open, looking like you about to take a giant redwood down your throat. Sitting there talking about Barack Obama shames black men. Your whole entire party is about shaming black men. You got the wrong title. You got to title the video, Barack Obama delivers factual based speech to black men. Anybody that's a conservative that made a video saying anything other than that, we got to chalk them up, man. They don't believe what they say. They don't believe what they say. If y'all agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Right off the bat, Democrats are pulling out the big guns, as you see right behind us. Former President Barack Obama came out swinging at his first rally for vice president and 2024 Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris in Pennsylvania just last night. The former president, of course, took some jabs at former President Donald Trump, and he also had a message specifically for black men.
Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for it. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is. Putting women down? That's not acceptable.
And former President Bill Clinton will hit the campaign trail for the vice president this weekend in a push to get.
And now is Bill Clinton? You remember a lot of clowns used to say that Bill Clinton was a black president. Y'all remember that? Is Bill Clinton going to come and shame black men too? Now, we supposed to what? Listen to Bill Clinton about how to treat a woman? A dude that was getting sucked off while he was married in an office by a woman other than his wife? Get the hell out of here, man. This is a party full of hypocrisy. Shout out to AW1. Make sure you guys show AW1 some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for AW1 for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
You know, Bill Clinton and Michael Eric Dyson should actually go on a tour together, you know, telling all the things not to do if you decide to get married. That's the only tour that Bill Clinton should go on. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. None of these are effective tactics.
Gain support from rural voters across battleground states. Bill Clinton will begin his stops in Georgia on Sunday and is expected to continue through North Carolina next week.
Meanwhile, Trump gave remarks at the Detroit.
So what I want you guys to see is that when it comes to this, they don't even know how to address black men. You guys see how these conversations, CNN is the only one that kept it on talking about black men. That's it. That's it. A stern Obama tells black men to drop excuses and support Harris. Nah. Nobody's going to do anything just because Obama said to do it. These Democrats and Democrat women love misogynists. Didn't Kamala Harris marry a guy who cheated on his past wife, and there's some new information that comes out that he actually could have possibly laid hands on another woman that he was with? They love these people. They choose the bear. You know what I'm saying? They choose the bear. They did it on TikTok, and they do it with the wedding ring. You know what I'm saying? But yet a simp is supposed to tell us, throw our vote down over the mud so that the princess can walk over it. Man, get the hell out of here. Enjoy retirement. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy retirement. What this actually is, and let's just keep it a buck, this is actually Barack Obama attempting to exert influence through Kamala Harris because he knows that he'll be very influential under a Kamala Harris presidency. So what Obama is saying and not saying is a vote for Kamala is a vote for my influence. If you supported me while I was president, and you want things ran like how I was running things when I was the president, then vote for me. Vote for me and my influence through voting for Kamala Harris. Shout out to AW1. Well, you know these fur-faced clowns, right? Anything that's black is woke. The black crayon is woke. You know what I'm saying? The tires on your car is woke. These race-obsessed clowns who have benefited from generations of their families' xenophobia and racism, who are now so ashamed of their history that the only thing that they can do is latch on to when anybody else mentions race and say that they're race-obsessed, of course they'll call me woke. And you know what I'll do? Not call them at all because I could care less what they got to say. You know what I'm saying? I just won't call them at all. I could care less what they got to say. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? These the facts, and they don't like the facts, and it don't matter what they like or not. The world's not catering to them anymore. It never should have in the first place. Nature been out of balance for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says a stern Obama tells black men to drop excuses and support Harris. And actually what ended up happening is Harris and Obama end up getting dropped. Before speaking at a rally for Vice President Kamala Harris in Pittsburgh, the former president spoke directly to black male voters in an effort to bolster flagging support. Didn't really sound like an effort to rally support to me. Didn't sound like that at all. Sounded like SBE. Sounded a lot like SBE. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Let's see. They got anything he said?
We
there
can
we go.
do better.
Hold on.
People, I get it. Why people are looking to shake things up. I mean, I am the hopey changey guy. So I understand people.
Shout out to Joseph. Shout out to FBA B1 Duddy. What's good with it, bro?
We can do better. What I cannot understand is why anybody would think that Donald Trump will shake things up in a way that is good for you, Pennsylvania. I don't understand that. I remember the first time I went in the store right after Malia was born. I was like, what? That's how much diapers cost? I remember changing diapers. You think Donald Trump ever
How many times did you change Joe Biden's diaper?
changed the diaper? You realize having honest, competent leadership in government really matters. Hundreds of people killed. And President Biden and Vice President Harris were down there meeting with local officials and comfort.
That's facts. And again, as you guys can see, this little clip, they didn't put anything directly addressing any of the stuff that he said about black voters. This is all he's sitting up there doing. This is all he had been doing. First, he's sitting up here sounding
just like a woman. That's because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. Nigga, Reaper keep it 1,000.
And then the rest of the speech ain't nothing but this.
Talentless, scandalous, plebiscite, babbling.
That's it. That's all he got.
Hurting families, asking how they could help. And Donald Trump at a rally just started making up stories about the Biden administration withholding aid from Republican areas and siphoning off aid to give to undocumented immigrants. Just made the stuff up. Everybody knew it wasn't true.
You see, he tried to get into his Cliff Huxtable voice, right? Now I want y'all to go vote for Kamala Harris. I don't understand why you... Man, shut up, dude. Ain't nobody doing that, man. Give us some facts or get off the stage. We listened to about 51 minutes, or I'm sorry, we listened to about 2 hours and 49 minutes worth of commentary, 2 hours and 49 minutes worth of Barack Obama. None of the time frames that we watched any of this content or commentary did he give one substantive reason of the if-then effects of how voting for Kamala Harris will improve our situation, other than the usual talking point of quote-unquote, oh, let me get in my courage the cowardly dog bag. They gonna bring slavery back. Let me tell you something, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. The way that I was raised, bro, them people better be more afraid of me than anybody better be afraid of slavery. You serious? Shout out to AB Promotions. Make sure y'all show AB Promotions some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man AB. AB says, why are you talking to me about Trump? FOH. Bro, facts. Super facts. Make sure y'all show AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for AB.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. All that fear talk and courage the cowardly dog nonsense, and I'm scared this and I'm scared. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Those people, they can do what they want. You can be racist. You don't have to be racist. I could care less. Where it's going to affect you at is if you get in my way or my face with it. Then it's going to start to hurt you, not me. And that's the mentality and approach that people have. I'm not going to live my life under no false pretense or any type of contingency. I need other people to behave a certain kind of way for my life to be. Nah, listen, I don't care how you behave. But if you bring the violations my way, I'm going to make you wish that you never came out of your mom. I'm going to make you wish that the doctor never slapped you when you fell out. You know what I'm saying? I believe in an internal locus of control. I believe in never allow the life or actions of other people to stop you in your path or in your destiny. So them people can burn as many crosses as they want. They can have as many Charlottesville marches as they want. Do whatever you want. When it starts to affect me negative, it's going to really affect you negative, because I'm going to continue living my life and eliminating barriers in my way that stop me from living my life the way that I want by any means. You know what I'm saying? So don't be shame sensitive. Don't be a simp. And remember, when people name call, when people do not provide you with a presentation of facts for their argument, what that means is that they lost. That's what that means. It's a predecessor to a finalized loss. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me shout out the stream sponsors, man. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all show my man John Guillory some love. I appreciate it. Shout out to Patrick Tyler. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Mr. King. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Phil. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Definitely appreciate you, Miss Nisi. Shout out to my man AW1. Definitely appreciate it. And shout out to AB Promotions. I appreciate it. All right. Y'all already know what to do. As always,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour. Got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on money, that's on TV, that's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that fake. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Hold up.